Doctor Who Twice Upon a Time, the 2017 Christmas special, is written by Stephen Moffat and starring Peter Capaldi, David Bradley, Pearl Mackie and Mark Gatiss. This is Peter Capaldi's final episode as the 12th Doctor. He announced on 30th of January 2017 that he was leaving because he said in Graham Norton's show that he's worried that he won't able to continue his work. While he enjoy it, leave, which is fair enough. He is a fan of the show and he worries about messing it up if he stayed on longer. This is also Stephen Moffat's last episode as a showrunner, and Murray Gold as the music composer, as of time recording. This is the first multi-Doctor episode where they both regenerate in the same episode, and this is the last Christmas special, as of time recording. We get a brilliant opening where it says, previously on Doctor Who. I actually thought they were recapping from The Doctor Falls, but instead they used footages that 709 episodes ago, The 10th Planet, the final story of the first Doctor, William Hartnell. I felt really amazed watching it, where it shows the Doctor, Polly and Ben in South Pole, and met Mondasian Cybermen. And it was pretty effective where William Hartnell turns into David Bradley, where the Doctor says, emotions, love, pride, hate and fear, have you no emotions, sir? So in the Cyberman ship, Polly and Ben released the first Doctor from the restraints. His body was wearing thin and needs to head back to the TARDIS, so he left and found the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, in the snow outside of his TARDIS. They recreated scenes from the 10th Planet Part 4 as it's sadly lost. They got Lily Travers and Jared Garfield to play Polly and Ben, which is fantastic casting, as they do look like Anika Wills and Michael Craze. At least the original actors appeared and got credited as well, and so is William Hartnell, and the writers of the 10th Planet. David Bradley plays the first Doctor, which I think he did a splendid job, especially the likeness. He has played the original actor, William Hartnell, in Adventure in Space and Time, and he also played Solomon in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. I love the idea of the first Doctor afraid of regenerating as he hasn't done it before, which actually does make sense. The 12th Doctor found it amusing that the first Doctor still calls the TARDIS the ship. Another thing to mention is Murray Gold reusing his old Doctor Who soundtracks is amazing, especially the ones from Russell T Davies era. You get nostalgia vibes. In the recap scene you hear variations of All Strange Strange Creatures and Face of Bow theme. It's the last episode he does the music, which I miss him doing the music. So the timeline freezes, both Doctors are still moving, the Captain from World War I is moving and ended up in South Pole in 1986.
Everything stopped.
After both Doctors and Captain went inside the 12th Doctor's TARDIS, it gets taken into a ship, Chamber of the Dead. Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor is fantastic. I wish he'd stayed for another series as it's heartbreaking seeing him go. I like the 1st and 12th Doctor together, they're entertaining, where the 1st Doctor is like a mature grandfather or a school teacher, whereas the 12th Doctor is like a teenager and being cool. He gets embarrassed by the 1st Doctor. The 1st Doctor doesn't like the sonic screwdriver, sunglasses and the redesign of the TARDIS. You know when you look back at yourself in the past, when you're little and you did embarrassing stuff and you're just like, oh man, why was I like this? Oh, this is so embarrassing. That's pretty much what it is, which is brilliant fitting. We get a nice reunion with the 12th Doctor and Bill Potts. It's nice that they brought back Pearl Mackie, as I do love Bill. The Doctor denies that she's there because she'd sacrificed herself defeating the Cybermen. I like the 12th Doctor's speech in the scene where he's like, I'm gonna stop all of you, and the glass shows the footages of the Doctor's past saying all of his nicknames, the fact that he is the Doctor of War, and also reuses soundtrack of Don't from Midnight, 1969 from Series 6, and an instrumental version of My Angel Put the Devil in Me. The scene where both Doctors, Captain Bill grabs onto the chains as they escape is a blast. I love Bill's line, Doctor, is that another TARDIS? As they entered the 1st Doctor's TARDIS, and the design is well done, it looks so accurate to the original TARDIS, and arrived in Billingard. The bit where it was really funny was when the 1st Doctor told Bill off for swearing, threatening her with a jolly good smacked in her bloody arse. And it really embarrassed the 12th Doctor. Oh, that was so funny. So the 12th Doctor met up with Rusty again, the good Dalek from Into the Dalek. It's nice to see him again, reminding the Doctor that he's a good Dalek. Glass Avatar are programmed to copy deceased people used for memories, created from New Earth, which I think is a great concept. Basically, that's what Bill is in this episode. Nikki Amuka Bird played Helen Clay, a professor at the University of New Earth, who created the Testimony Foundation, which used time travel technology to preserve memories of people from the past, and she also voiced the Glass Woman. I think she's brilliant. I love Bill and First Doctor's moment as he ran away from Gallifrey, not because he was bored, it's because he's afraid. And the soundtrack of Doomsday and Ninth Doctor Christopher Eccleston's theme is reused. As soon as the 12th Doctor realises there's no evil plan, everything's good, everyone arrives at the battlefield in World War I. We learn that the captain is Archibald Hamish Lethbridge Stewart, the Brigadier's grandfather, which is a splendid reveal, and it explains why he's important to the Doctor, because he's a family member of Lethbridge Stewart. Mark Gatiss did an incredible job. We also have Toby Whitehouse playing a German soldier, which I think he did a great job as well. As the timeline continues and Captain forgot about the Doctor's event, he helped a wounded German soldier, which happens in real life in World War I. On Christmas, where soldiers stop fighting, they put down their weapons, singing carols like Silent Night, and celebrate Christmas together, and that's called Christmas Truce, or Christmas Armistice. What makes it really emotional is that the next day the fight continues, and the truce never repeated, which is really sad. So the First Doctor says goodbye and went back to the TARDIS saying the long way round. He returned to the South Pole, 1986, to pick Ben and Polly up, and as William Hartnell, he regenerates into the Second Doctor, Patrick Troughton. Using Veil theme, Latin for farewell, the soundtracks of Singing Towers, The Time of the Doctor and The Doctor Falls were reused, where Clara runs into the TARDIS seeing the naked 11th Doctor, and where Heather and Bill brings the 12th Doctor back inside his TARDIS. In the final scene there's Shepherd's Boy, aka Breaking the Wall, 9th Doctor's theme again, and A Pressing Need to Save the World from Series 4. I love the bit where Clara Oswald gets a cameo, wishing the Doctor Merry Christmas. The Doctor's memories of Clara is restored. It was the last scene filmed, as Jenna Coleman didn't have much time because she was working on Victoria series, which is understandable. And Stephen Moffat said how many times has he killed that girl off, and she was right there in his last shot. It's absolutely extraordinary. The unkillable Coleman. I think it's nice to see Jenna returned as Clara to say goodbye to the 12th Doctor. And they also brought back Matt Lucas as Nardole, which is nice. Bill and Nardole cuddles the Doctor and disappeared. So the Doctor stepped inside his TARDIS and dematerialised. I love his speech, it's absolutely phenomenal and heartbreaking. It shows that's really Peter Capaldi saying goodbye to the audience. He gives his next incarnation advice with his last words, "Doctor, I'll let you go."
Hate is always foolish. Love is always wise. Laugh hard. Run fast. Be kind. Doctor, I let you go.
And the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, regenerates into the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, the first woman to play the Doctor, although Joanna Lumley played the character in The Curse of the Fatal Death, but it was non-canon, it was just a comic relief special that was also written by Stephen Moffat. It's really emotional seeing Capaldi leaving, and I was like, no, please Peter, stay! The Doctor looks at the reflection on the screen, and I think her entrance is well done.
Oh, brilliant.
The Doctor presses a button, causing the TARDIS to explode, and she fells out the TARDIS and ends up in Sheffield in 2018. That scene was written by Chris Chibnall, just like Stephen Moffat wrote Matt Smith's first scene in The End of Time. So, that's Twice Upon a Time. I really love that episode. It's really emotional. It's my favourite Stephen Moffat's Christmas episode. It's a shame that there's no more Christmas specials after this as of time recording. Hopefully they'll bring back the Christmas specials. That's the final episode for Peter Capaldi, Stephen Moffat and Murray Gold. What did you think of Twice Upon a Time? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thanks for watching. Laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. I'll see you in the next video.